Hello, I'm Jules and this is Fast Car TV, and today we've got the man, the myth, the legend that is the art editor of Fast Car magazine. It is Initial G. Welcome to Fast Car TV, and we have got the oldest member of Fast Car with us today, Initial G. He is our designer and he's been putting the magazine together for how many years now?
14, I think.
14 years you've been there?
Yes, 14 years.
Everyone who works on Fast Cars is into cars, even the designer, photographers, everyone. So G-Man.
Yes.
You've always been into cars. What was your first car? What got you into modifying?
God, this is going to sound pretty cliched, but it was Fast Car magazine. My first car was a company car. It was a Fiesta 1.1 Popular Plus. I remember being in a newsagent's and I picked up a copy of Fast Car, and it had a project in it that was called, if I remember correctly, Project Stealth. And it was a 205 GTI.
What kind of years was this?
This would be
33? 40s?
1940s. No, it was definitely a bit later than that. I would reckon the sort of mid-late 90s. And I remember going literally on Monday, going into my bank, having a day off, asking for a loan for like $3,500, getting an auto trader and sitting there thumbing through it, trying to find my perfect car. And there was a 205 in there on an F. It was black, half leather. It was a 1.9
GTI, yeah.
GTI. It was the first one that I saw. It was the first one that I looked at, and I bought it from a guy somewhere in Raynham.
It's funny, isn't it, really, because you couldn't get one of them for that price now.
No, I wish I still had it, to be honest with you. It was an amazing car, and it was actually a peach. It had 28,000 miles on the clock. I remember taking it down to Elite in Raynham, which was quite a popular place at the time. We got it lowered, bought some TSW Stealth wheels, which is what Fast Car had on their project car back in the 90s.
And then you joined Fast Car 2000 and...
I reckon about 2004 or 5.
And when you joined, you had an EP3 Type R.
I certainly did, yes.
And, well, I think, if I remember rightly, that was supercharged.
It was, yeah. I remember having my interview for the job. I didn't stop talking about the car, and they wanted to know whether I could design a mag or not. And all I wanted to do was talk about the fact that my EP3 had a supercharger on it.
You owned that for years and years and years.
Bought it in 2002, brand new.
And it ended up on the cover, didn't it?
Ended up on the cover.
You got that?
I certainly do.
So that's what I'm just sort of saying, like everyone who works on Fast Cars bang into the scene. And you have to be.
Its last spec, it had what they call a Frank motor, which was a K24 bottom end. Frankenstein, yeah. Throttle bodies that were developed for the car. Put out just over 300 horsepower, normally aspirated.
And that was after you sucked up a load of water, didn't you, on the M4?
I hydrolocked. On the way to work one morning on the M4, I hydrolocked and blew the engine. And like any modifier, you blow an engine, that's just an excuse to get another better one.
And this car was proper hardcore and you used to drive it to and fro. It was daily.
It was a daily driver.
Massive cage in it.
50-year-old, stripped out, caged. Yeah, and it was, my daily driver did about 200,000 miles on the clock before it moved on and got sold to become a race car and to compete in the Time Attack series.
There you go. Do things properly here at Fast Car. So here we are doing what to buy, and because we've got Initial G here and he loves a hot hatch, we're going to talk about hot hatches, but we're going to keep it in the price bracket around about £3,000. What are you going to go for? You're going to go for an EP3 Type R, but we've mentioned them too many times.
Yeah, no, and I've been there and done that, so to be honest with you, I think I'd like to go back to my French roots again, and it might take a bit of hunting, but I reckon you could get a Renault Megane 225, might even be able to get an RS.
Hell of a car.
A hell of a car.
I'd probably go maybe another Renault, Clio 182. You've got so many cars in that bracket. Corsa VXR. Probably get quite a nice Fiesta ST for that, so that's probably what I'd go for. Nice. 2 litre.
And would we be modifying these at all?
We would, of course we would. So what would you do to your Renault?
It's all about the handling for me, not necessarily about outright top speed, about taking it to a track and having fun. So I'd just put some sticky rubber on it, make sure that the brakes are up to spec, maybe updated track spec brakes, and then get myself down to a nice track day
Good set of coilovers.
Good set of coilovers is an option as well, yeah.
So yes, probably what I'd do if I had a Fiesta ST as well. Yeah, some sticky rubber, some Toyo 888s, and maybe a mount tune kit on it. They do. I've driven a couple of those. I think the boys on Fast Forward used to have one, and it was just an incredible bit of fun. So there you go. You've got £3,000 in your back pocket, and you want a hot hatch, Megane 225 or a Mark 6 Fiesta ST. Yeah. So it's time for product of the week, and now we normally talk about products that go in your cars. I'm actually going to talk about a product that goes in your house, because I think if you're into car culture, it just extends to all parts of your life. So now, if you're in the market for a new sofa, don't go to DFS. Go to V8 Design, so that's VEE8 Design. These guys make custom car-themed furniture to order using genuine seats from the likes of Maserati, Rolls-Royce and Bentley, but they're also environmentally friendly because they're upcycled. V8 Design don't just make sofas, they also make designer coffee tables. So the one pictured here boasts a Jaguar V12 block and will set you back around £1,000. So there you go. Don't just make your car faster, make your home faster. There's my product of the week. Welcome to 2 Minute Tech. I'll try and keep it under 2 minutes, but I can't promise. Right, I'm going to talk about seats. Seats, we all need them in the car, so you want to put upgraded seats in your car. You've got two types ready. You've got recliners. They come in most cars, 99% of cars, and then you've got a fixed back bucket seat. A recliner here, as you can see, quite simple, it reclines. A fixed back bucket seat, it will not recline. These are lighter, stronger, and that's what you'll find in race cars. Now, to fit these into your car, you're going to need something called an aftermarket subframe, which will match your new seat to the mounting points of your car. And then here you've got sliders. That just means forward and backward motion on your subframes. And then you've got fixed side mounts, which are fixed to the side of the seat. One of the problems with fitting aftermarket seats is if your car comes with airbags, for example, you're going to throw up all your airbag lights on your dash. Now, to turn them off, you're going to need resistors. Some people, you can literally buy them and plug them in, but do your research there. The other option to get around that is to do an OEM Plus option. This is where you take an Audi A3, say, and fit a set of RS3 seats in it. You won't have it. A lot of them are plug and play. A lot of the time, the feet will just be bolt in, and you'll find that some even from interchangeable from different models in cars. So it's worth looking at and going, oh, I really like those seats in the RS6. I'm going to put them in my S3. They might fit. You just need to do your research and have a look. Fitting a set of bucket seats, they won't just look good, which they do, they'll actually make you feel so much more secure. So if you want a track car, it's one of the first mods you want to do. Just hold you in tight, you don't move, and it really does, you can feel the car moving much more through your bottom. Fit a set of seats in your car, they'll make it look better, make you feel much more secure, safer, stronger. Go and do it. So, time for feature car of the week, and because we've got our designer here, Initial G, I'm going to let him pick his favourite feature car of all time. So, what have you got for us?
Well, okay, that is predictably not easy. Sounds like a cliche, but it genuinely isn't. We have featured so many amazing cars, but I've picked a couple out. Some more recently than others perhaps. And the first one was in our March issue of 2020, so not that long ago.
Probably still available on the Kelsey shop.
And it's Richard Gutierrez's Hachiroku, or AE86.
Absolutely amazing car, that was.
As anyone knows, my nickname, Initial G, because I watch too many episodes of Initial D, the famous Japanese cartoon about street racing and all the rest of it. So I've got a soft spot for Japanese cars. And the star of that series was a little black and white Panda Tirreno. And another Japanese car, I'm afraid, Kohei Miyata's FC RX-7.
Incidentally, that's probably one of my favourite cars of all time. I love Mazda RX-7 FCs, and yeah, but that's probably one of the best ever built, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a stunning car. Got a tucked engine bay, it's clean, it sits well.
Top front arches.
Yeah, top front arches.
Because that's static.
Big turbo.
Static, yeah, it is.
Static drop, yeah, exactly. And that one was in our Feb issue 2019, which coincidentally was also when we did a bit of a redesign and a refresh. But my favourite car, and considering that I'm all about the Japanese, is German. Not the biggest BMW fan, always have a bit of a rivalry with Jules over that because he likes his BMWs. And this one is Eddie Johnson's M3 Touring.
Which BMW famously never made.
Yes, and they probably should have done. I think they're missing a bit of a gap there. And this one was pretty much home built. It had an outrageous spoiler on the back, over fenders, M3 conversion, and it absolutely looks stunning. As far as I'm aware, pretty much driveway built as well. And there's a happy man, which you would be if you had an M3 Touring.
And it's another one of those cars that he evolved over time. So yeah. I don't know if we featured it twice or not, but
it probably has. Like a lot of these cars, they tend to come in over and over again. But you know, you've got his build process there and everything. And there was a lot of work. And I appreciate anything where somebody takes the time, evolves a car, and puts a lot of time and effort into it.
And he used to drive that to a lot of shows because he used to represent us a lot at tracks and all the other shows. So it was it's a great car.
So there you go. I mean, I wasn't allowed to say mine, by the way. Just thought I'd mention that. Otherwise, I would have, obviously.
So sadly, that's all we've got time for this week. But it's been great having you here, Graham. So
it's nice to be out of the office for a couple of minutes.
So are you going back to your old people's home, or?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, but we're getting back out of his old people home for another episode very soon. So we're bringing back.
Excellent.
See you later, guys.